Welcome back, Trust the Process Dynasty League podcast. It's Jake and Micah. We're back. I feel like we have to introduce ourselves again. We've kind of lost our way here. Life has happened for us as a league. I know I got the Rona. My kids have been sick for a month. Some people in the league had family that passed away. Thanksgiving, holidays. Shit just kind of happened for us. So I apologize for those of you who have been wanting your weekly episodes and haven't got them. But we're back. We're going to finish strong. We should be consistent from here on out. Let's get right into it. Jake, how are the pick'ems looking?
Yeah, so with that being said, life happens. We kind of ended the pick'ems. So ending the season, I went 46-7. You went 41-13. Pretty close. You got a couple back on me the last time we did them. And then obviously life happened. We had a lot going on. But no, I'm glad I took that one. I kind of went with the chalk every week, though. You weren't afraid to go against the grain. Next season, I'm really looking forward to it. Starting it out right from the beginning. We're at that point too where we're getting to playoffs and we are starting to look ahead. Like you said, we'll be back on track with everything, especially these off-season pods. I'm real excited for that, to break down people's teams, let them kind of just spill out to us what they see with their roster, what they're looking to do. I'm excited for that. But we can start by going over the last 2 weeks we missed. So right before our last pod was right before week 11 was kicking off. Week 11 went pretty straightforward. There's no real upsets. Nothing crazy happened. We're not going to get into that too much. I got the scores up if everyone wants to check them out. But everything went pretty straightforward. I guess if we want to shout out a couple of things, we had a 38-point performance from the Lonely Boys. That might be the season low.
That might be like a lifetime low.
And then a 48 from Tony Island. Almost impressive how that works. But overall, things went as expected. Last week, however, we had a couple things that we can point out. I did unfortunately lose to Josh's team. Really, really unfortunate loss there. Had some injuries. The injury bug got me.
Yeah, it's a big upset. Fourth string's a guy who is playing for a better pick, and Jake is a guy playing to, excuse me, to win it all. So, the injuries to Swift did not help you. McCaffrey did not help you. Aaron Jones was back, but he got, 5 touches or something silly. AJ Dillon's really coming on for those Packers. I'm not sure Aaron Jones ever gets that workhorse role back. Kind of just a rough week for you. And fourth string, he had a solid week, not a great week. 103 isn't like an amazing score, but it was enough this week.
Yeah, no, it was sad. It was a sad effort. I'm losing Swift for a few weeks. McCaffrey's done for the year again. 2 years in the Dynasty League, 2 years. I did not get CMC for the entire season. Hopefully third time's a charm with him. But I'm not too worried. I'm losing a lot of talent, but we got a deep bench. We got some talent. I'm still coming for that ship. Just going to be a little bit thinner margin for error there.
Yeah. The bright spot there is Antonio Gibson looked really good.
30 plus touches. Yeah, we'll take that. We'll take 30 plus touches.
He looked good. He got a ton of volume. That's everything you want to see. If he gets a little more efficient, he's going to start going crazy.
What he should have been, what he showed glimpses of. So no, real promising there. Couple other notable matchups from that week. Shout out to my boy J-Rod, friend of the podcast, frequent guest. The Outlaws, man, took down Tony Island, put up triple digits. Shouts out to you for your second win. Couple other things is Broken Step and Najee. We're going to talk about them quite a bit going into our week 13 matchup. As we get to the standings over here, that's going to be a good one to watch. Joe did take that one, which gives them that tiebreaker if they do end up in that sense.
That's a brutal loss for Najee. That's his second loss in a row. Broken Step actually had 2 players that were inactive, and he still pulled it out. That's when you got to get if you're Najee.
Yeah, feels really bad. Sorry about that, Najee. You might be looking on the outside here. The Schneidys picked up another win, got his 4th win. We can kind of go to this here standings. So after 12 weeks, this is what we're looking at. If it ended now, Broken Step and Najee are in. Macon's in, and then we got the three big dogs up top. So going into the last two matchups, we got some big things happening. It doesn't look like it's going to be too crazy. It looks like maybe Stu could sneak in, possibly Schneidi if he goes back-to-back wins. No, actually, no, he couldn't. So it looks like Stu's the only one.
Are pretty much locked in. Stu would have to win out, and Najee or Joe would have to lose out, and then Stu would have to win that tiebreaker. So I think we're probably locked the top 6 and bottom 6 here.
Yeah.
But every matchup feels huge right now because 4th-string winning last week. Now all of a sudden he's getting the 5th overall pick. Najee losing 2 in a row. Now he's looking at a different seed and a different matchup than he would otherwise. It's just it feels like every win and loss is just really impactful right now.
Yeah, especially with these like clusters, like nobody's really spread out too much record wise. Everyone's kind of in like, the top 3 are clustered together, and then the bottom 3 of the playoff picture are one win apart. We don't really have a lot of separation, which is nice. It makes it competitive. It gives you something to look for every week, which leads us into going into next week. So next week we have some matchups. Everything looks pretty straightforward. We're not going to break them down. We're not going to do anything. We'll keep this episode light. Couple of things to really look for though would be Stu really needing to upset me if he wants to keep that alive. I don't see that happening. Sorry, Stu. And then other than that, I mean, you just take care of business. Bordeaux's going to take care of business. Najee just needs to knock out the Outlaws, which, I mean, one win last week. Let's get a streak going. But yeah, I mean, overall, everything's pretty straightforward. The last interesting one is Schneidi and Macon. Macon seems to have fallen off. He got to 8 wins pretty quick and just hasn't really done too much.
It's almost like that Derrick Henry injury like sank his entire team.
Yeah, really screwed some stuff up. I mean, he does not look to have a lot of depth. He's got some young pieces. He did pick up some nice pieces. I'll give him that. He's got Renfro. He's got Van Jefferson. Both of those guys look pretty promising for the future. This season, however, I don't feel you're going to be too threatening come playoff. So, no, pretty straightforward episode. I think next week we'll get back to it regularly every Thursday. And it'll be fun. We'll see that final push going into the week 14 matchups. The top seed's really up for grabs at this point. I've held on to it most of the season. But after that loss, that unfortunate, sad loss to Josh, we're all up there at 10-2. You actually have more points for. And so, I mean, it's literally anybody's. So that'll be exciting. It'll give us something to talk about going into next week. Anything you want to add before we wrap up? Give us that hot take.
No, just know that I'm coming for you, boys. I won 6 in a row. I know I'm 3rd right now, but I won 6 in a row. I haven't been below top 3 in points every week since week 5. And in week 5, even I was 4th overall in points. Those kind of bye weeks and those injuries are starting to add up where the depth of my team, I think, has really showed through those last couple of weeks. So, some of these injuries happening. I hate to see it for you guys. I'm really, really upset. I'm not going to get to play you guys at full strength in the playoffs, but somehow I'll get through it. But I'm coming for you, boys. With that said, hot take. I'm going to say Tony Island gets 1st overall pick because he deserves it. J-Rod, frequent man of the podcast here with the mullet. He has failed to set his lineup in like half the weeks this season. And so therefore I'm trying to will it into existence. Tony Island, 1st overall pick next week. I think J-Rod gets a win next week and goes to 2nd overall.
I love it. I love the hot take. Yeah, I mean, just a little side note before we close this is all you people setting in active lineups, we're coming for you. We got our face-to-face pod coming end of season. We're going to get you in the Zoom call. We're going to break it down. We're going to set some standards. This league will shape up. I promise you that.
Y'all better act right or you're up out of here.
All right. Take it easy, Mitch. We'll see you next week.
Bye, everyone.